They cast their ballots, but members of the Guam Education Board were not able to come to a consensus on who to name the next superintendent for the Department of Education. Votes were cast by secret ballot with separate ballots for each candidate. Neither Vince Leon Guerrero, currently the governor's chief liaison to education, or Salvador Avila, a high school teacher with an administration background, received the 6 votes needed to be named the new superintendent. Board members voted to extend Tallene Taitano's appointment as interim superintendent until a new superintendent is named. This was part of a motion by board member Barry Mead, which also requires the board to establish a policy on selecting superintendents.
Based on some of the complications of not only this election but previous elections, I think it would behoove the board to create a board policy that would lay out the process in its entirety so that we could include the possibility of including 3 names on to the board instead of 2. It would clarify some of the functions of the committee that would be the search committee, and that we do that, and I would suggest that we do that within the next month.
After the new board policy is in place, Mead says the superintendent position will be advertised again for a new pool of candidates.
Once we have the board policy in place, which will guide the committee and also guide the board as to the overall process, then once that's done and we have that in place, then we can go forward and again solicit for applicants. The committee will then come together and review the applicants and choose who they want to move forward to the board. And that's going to be in the policy.
Mead says there is no limitation to the amount of time Taitano can serve as the interim superintendent for DOE, but she cannot be named the new superintendent because of a law passed by the legislature several years ago establishing requirements for the position. Mead thinks this is unfortunate.
Do we really need to have someone that came from a classroom, or do we need someone who is really an academician to lead the department? Now compare that to the job that Tallene is currently doing. I think we have our answer. But we're limited because of the law.
Taitano has been serving as the interim superintendent for DOE since July 22nd, when former superintendent Dr. Narissa Underwood stepped down at the end of her contract. Betsy Brown, PNC News.